What if one man glimpsed the secrets of the universe, secrets so vast they could unravel everything you believe, and then vanished without a trace beneath the stars you see tonight? Picture a night so deep and unbroken it feels like the earth itself has fallen asleep. A stillness wrapping an ancient land where shadows cling to every rock, every twisted branch, every faint gust of wind like ghosts of a time long lost. The stars overhead burn with a fierce, relentless light, not mere dots scattered across the void, but ancient guardians, their glow slicing through the endless dark, bearing silent witness to an era when humanity was just a whisper in the vast song of creation. In a small, crumbling hut carved from the rugged earth, an old man sits alone, his gnarled hands trembling as they grip the edge of a worn, splintered table, his eyes sunken deep with the weight of countless years. A single oil lamp flickers beside him, its flame wavering as if hesitant to shine too bold, casting jagged shadows that leap across his weathered face like spirits of the past come to life. His lips part, cracked and dry from the arid night, and a name slips out, a whisper that slices through the silence like a sharpened edge, laden with awe, fear, and an enigma that defies time. Enoch. This was no ordinary soul, no humble tiller of soil or weary traveler broken by life's burdens. Enoch walked the world as if pulled by an unseen thread, his steps steady with purpose, his gaze locked on a horizon no one else could imagine. When he spoke, his voice carried a resonance that shook the air, words that unveiled the stars before men learned to number them, that painted realms hidden beyond the sky's fragile shroud, that hinted at forces so old they thrum beneath the very bedrock of existence. He was a mystery cloaked in flesh, a lone figure whose presence suggested truths too immense, too dangerous for the world to hold. And then, on a night when the heavens seemed to pause in anticipation, he was gone, not claimed by the quiet grip of death that awaits us all, but ripped from the earth in a flash of light so strange, so blinding, it defied all naming. The sky tore open, a silent thunder rattling the ground beneath those who slept unaware below, the air shimmering with a radiance no tongue could capture, and Enoch vanished, swallowed by a fate that left only questions in its wake, questions that echo still. Who was he? A prophet touched by the hand of God? A madman lost to visions no one could share? Or something far stranger, a link between our fleeting lives and the boundless expanse of the cosmos? His disappearance sparked whispers that have lingered through the ages, faint but insistent, tugging at our hearts, daring us to peer into history's shadows and ask, what did he see? What truths did he carry into the void? And why, beneath the gaze of those same stars, was he taken? If this mystery hooks you as much as it does us, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. We're diving deep into the unknown, and we'd love to have you along for the ride. It began with a hush so profound, it seemed to devour the night itself. The wind ceased its restless dance, the crickets silenced their song, and an eerie weight settled over the land, as if the earth knew something monumental was stirring just beyond the veil of sight. Then came the hum, a low, pulsating tremor that didn't strike the ears but sank into the bones, threading through blood and breath, quickening the pulse with a nameless urgency. The sky quivered, its dark expanse rippling like a still sea touched by an unseen force, and shadows writhed in corners where no light should dare to linger. From that trembling canopy, they descended, the watchers, not as men bound by flesh, nor as creatures tamed by nature's laws, but as beings forged from the raw, searing fire of the stars. Their forms defied all reason, shifting between substance and light, radiant in a way that burned the eyes with its beauty, fearsome in a way that gripped the soul with icy dread. They stood before Enoch, towering figures of brilliance and shadow, their presence bending the air, twisting reality into shapes it was never meant to hold. Their eyes blazed like twin suns, glowing with a light older than the hills, older than the rivers, and they pierced him with a stare that stripped away all doubt, all illusion. His heart thundered, his breath caught, yet fear did not claim him. It was something deeper, a recognition that surged from the core of his being, a truth he felt rather than knew. He understood them, not by memory or word, but by a bond etched into the essence of his soul. These were no newcomers to this world. They had trodden its paths long before the first shelters rose from the dust, before the first voices lifted in song around flickering flames. They were the silent overseers of an unformed earth, their eyes tracing the rise and fall of eras no mortal could recall. They were the keepers of forbidden wisdom, the unseen hands shaping the laws that bound the stars in their orbits, the tides in their ceaseless pull, the very heartbeat of existence in its fragile equilibrium. And now, impossibly, they had come for him, a solitary man beneath a sky that no longer felt like his own. With a gesture as simple as a sigh, one watcher extended a hand and the world dissolved. The earth beneath Enoch's sandals, firm and unyielding moments before, melted away, crumbling into nothingness, leaving him suspended in a void where weight held no meaning. He rose, untethered, caught in a stillness that silenced all sound. No wind roared to herald his ascent, no darkness fell to shroud his path. A light wrapped around him, not borrowed from the sun's golden rays or the moon's silver gleam, but alive with its own pulse, a radiance ancient and unbound, humming with the energy of creation's first breath. The earth dwindled below, a fading speck swallowed by the infinite dark, and he was pulled upward, outward, into a journey no mortal had ever dared to dream, let alone endure. The stars were no longer distant. They were alive, their voices threading through the void in a symphony of whispers, a language older than words, older than thought itself. His body felt alien, freed from the flesh that had once confined him, as if he were shedding mortality's chains with every fleeting moment, becoming something more, something less, something wholly other. This was no mere climb. It was a crossing, a passage through the unseen seams of reality, a journey weaving between worlds too vast, too strange to grasp. Wonder seized him first, a breathless awe that stole the air from his chest as he gazed upon the spectacle unfolding. A tapestry of light and motion, celestial orbs spinning in flawless unity, their dance stretching beyond the horizons of imagination, beyond the limits of time. Colors bloomed before him, blues deeper than the ocean's abyss, golds brighter than the fiercest dawn, purples shimmering like the dreams of forgotten gods. But wonder soon crumbled into terror, a dread that sank into his marrow and clawed at his mind. This was not the heaven of tales and hymns. No golden gates swung wide to welcome the righteous, no angelic voices sang of eternal rest. What Enoch beheld was a machine, a colossal, intricate construct sprawling across the cosmos, its gears forged of starlight and shadow, turning with a precision that mocked the chaos of human existence. Great wheels of celestial flame spun relentlessly, guided by hands he could not see, their motion dictating the rise and fall of all things. Time was no fleeting gift. It was a river, carved and directed by forces beyond comprehension, its currents bent to a will greater than any deity men had dared to worship. At the center of this vast mechanism rose a city, not of stone or steel, not of anything shaped by human craft, but of pure, living light, its spires piercing the endless void, its edges fading into the infinite. It pulsed with a rhythm older than the first spark of life, breathed with a presence older than the stars themselves, and it watched him, its gaze heavy, unyielding, alive with purpose. Then a voice broke through, not spoken in the air, but flooding his mind like a tide of molten silver, deep and resonant, inescapable. You have been chosen to bear the truth that lies beyond. Those words were no comfort. They were a yoke, a burden pressed upon his shoulders, a call to carry a revelation that would forever change him, a weight he could neither refuse nor fully fathom. If this journey grips you, hit that like button and subscribe. We're just getting started unraveling the mysteries of the ancients, and we need your support to keep going. Before him, the Watchers parted the veil of reality, unveiling a tapestry of knowledge so immense it threatened to break him. What they revealed was no gentle gift. It was a deluge of truth, overwhelming and relentless, pouring into his mind with a force that could shatter sanity itself. They showed him the great cycles of time, civilizations rising from the ash of nothingness, their towers scraping the heavens in bold defiance, only to collapse into dust when the stars turned their cold gaze upon them, their glory fading into whispers carried on the wind. They unveiled a past before memory, a time when beings of shadow and might strode the earth, their footsteps shaking the ground, their voices roaring through a world untouched by human hands. Beings whose empires were swept away, erased by a power beyond their grasp, leaving no mark for history to mourn. And then they turned his eyes to the future, a storm brewing on the edge of existence, a cataclysm unlike any before, a purging that would remake the world in its wake. Water would rise, unstoppable and merciless, surging over the land in waves that swallowed cities whole, drowning the cries of kings and commoners alike, washing away the pride of humanity until the earth lay bare, a blank slate awaiting a new dawn. But the heart of this vision was not the flood, it was the cause, the root of the chaos that demanded such a reckoning. Some watchers had rebelled, stepping beyond their sacred role as silent overseers. They had descended to the earth, not to watch but to live, to feel the warmth of mortal flesh, to taste the fleeting joys of human life. They took wives from the daughters of men, their celestial essence mingling with fragile humanity in unions forbidden by the laws that held the cosmos in balance. From these couplings sprang the Nephilim, giants born of light and darkness, their bodies towering over the earth, their strength a force that sundered stone and felled forests with a single strike. They were magnificent, their presence a wonder to behold, their power a testament to the fusion of the divine and the mortal. Yet they were wild, untamed, a chaos that could not be restrained, a tear in the delicate fabric of creation. The Watcher's defiance had birthed these beings, and their existence strained the balance until it threatened to collapse entirely. Enoch saw it all: the beauty of their rebellion, the awe-inspiring terror of their offspring, the grim inevitability of the consequences that must follow. This was no simple tale of sin and retribution. It was the story of existence itself, a narrative etched in the alignment of stars, sealed in the silence of the heavens. A truth that burned within him like a fire he could neither extinguish nor share. A flame that lit his soul even as it consumed him. The vision shifted, and Enoch was plunged into a darkness so complete it defied all sense. Not the gentle black of a moonless night, but an abyss that devoured light, sound, hope, leaving only the raw, crushing weight of its own emptiness. This was no hell of fire and torment, no punishment crafted for the wicked. It was a prison beyond time's reach, a cage forged for those who had dared to defy the eternal order. There, the fallen watchers knelt, their radiant forms scarred and dimmed, bound in chains of cold, shimmering flame that flickered with a relentless, unyielding light. Their cries echoed through the void, a chorus of despair that clawed at Enoch's heart, each wail a testament to their rebellion and its price. At the center stood Shemihaza, their leader, his once majestic figure bent but unbroken, his eyes blazing with a fury that refused to yield. "We gave them knowledge," he bellowed, his voice a storm that shook the emptiness, a defiance that reverberated across the endless dark. "We gave them power to rise above their frailty." A reply came, not from those beside him, but from the vastness itself, a voice so deep, so cold, it seemed to rise from the bones of the universe. "You gave them ruin." Then the final image crashed over Enoch, a deluge, water surging across the earth with a ferocity that knew no mercy, no pause. It rose in torrents, swallowing fields and forests, crashing over cities until their spires vanished beneath the flood. The Nephilim, towering and mighty, fell beneath its weight, their massive forms dragged into the deep, their bloodlines severed in a single devastating stroke. Kings cried out from their thrones. Warriors raised their swords in futile defiance. Mothers clutched their children as the waters closed over them, all silenced by the crushing stillness of the abyss. Humanity would be unmade, its history erased, its pride washed away until the world was reset to a fragile spark, a blank page awaiting a new tale. Yet amid the wreckage, a thread of hope endured. One man, Noah, chosen to carry the seed of life through the flood's wrath, a solitary figure standing against the tide of annihilation. If this twist leaves you reeling, smash that like button and subscribe. We're uncovering more ancient secrets every week, and we'd love you to join us on this wild ride. The journey ended as abruptly as it had begun. Enoch was hurled back to the earth, his body crashing into the dirt with a force that drove the breath from his lungs, the cold night air biting at his skin like a swarm of icy fangs. The weight of what he had seen, what he now carried, burned within him. A truth so vast it threatened to consume him, a burden no mortal could bear alone. His hands shook as he took up a stylus, his fingers unsteady as they scratched every vision, every word, onto sacred scrolls, their ink a fragile vessel for the revelations that seared his soul. He worked through sleepless nights, his eyes shadowed by the echoes of the heavens, his heart heavy with a knowledge he could not unlearn. He hid these writings in secret places, caves carved into cliffs, crevices sealed by time, forgotten corners of a world unready to hear. Knowing humanity was not prepared, might never be prepared, for the truths he bore. The Book of Enoch was born in those desperate, fevered hours, a record of the realms he had glimpsed, a warning of the realities he had uncovered, a cry into the void for a future that might one day heed his words. But the world recoiled. His scrolls were branded as heresy, madness, the ravings of a man unhinged by visions too wild to be true. His name was struck from the tales men told, his legacy buried beneath layers of fear and disbelief. No monument rose to honor him, no grave was dug to cradle his bones. Then, one night, beneath the same stars that had watched over him since his first breath, he vanished once more. The sky parted in silence, a swift and gentle rending, and Enoch was taken. No sound, no fury, just a quiet departure that left the earth emptier than before, his presence reduced to whispers on the wind, echoes of a truth too vast to silence forever. Yet truth has a stubborn way of enduring, doesn't it? Fragments of Enoch's story clawed their way back to the light, surfacing centuries later in the caves of Qumran, etched onto brittle scrolls that defied the ravages of time. They were discovered by chance, by shepherds tending their flocks, by seekers chasing whispers of the forbidden, tales of a man who walked with beings beyond the stars, who saw the machinery of the heavens and lived to set it down. Some say the watchers were no angels as we imagine them, no winged heralds of a benevolent deity, but travelers from distant realms, voyagers from beyond our sky who shaped humanity's infancy before retreating into the void from whence they came. Their light, their power, their knowledge lingered in the blood of the Nephilim, a legacy too volatile to survive. Others argue the flood was no divine wrath, no punishment from an angry god, but a calculated reset, an erasure of a cosmic error, a purging of a flaw that threatened the delicate balance of existence itself. The Nephilim, they claim, were an unintended ripple, a mistake in the design that could not be allowed to spread. And then there are those, few in number, hushed in their certainty, who insist Enoch never truly left us. They whisper that he walks still, beyond the veil that separates our world from the infinite. A silent watcher waiting for the day when the heavens will open once more, when the truths he carried will find ears willing to hear, minds ready to grasp them. His story, they say, is not a relic of a bygone age, but a promise of what's to come. A thread that ties us to the stars, to the questions that have haunted humanity since we first gazed upward and wondered why. Here we stand, centuries removed from that fateful night, staring at the same stars that bore witness to Enoch's ascent. They hang above us still, silent and eternal, their light a bridge between our world and his. What do we make of him? Was he a man out of time, a lone soul chosen to glimpse secrets we're only now beginning to touch with our science and our dreams? Was he a prophet, a seer whose visions cut through the veil of history, offering us a window into the machinery that drives the cosmos? Or is his story something closer? A mirror reflecting our own restless hearts, echoing the questions we've carried through the ages. Who are we? Where did we begin? What lies beyond the fragile shell of our sky? The answers, if they exist, are out there, hidden in the dark spaces between the stars, woven into the fabric of a universe that stretches far beyond our grasp. Enoch saw it, or at least a fragment of it, and what he saw changed him forever, set him apart, made him a stranger among his own kind. His journey challenges us to look harder, to listen closer, to reach for the truths that hover just beyond our sight. The night stretches on around us, vast and patient, its silence canvas for our thoughts, our fears, our hopes. It watched Enoch rise, watched him return, watched him slip into the unknown. And now it watches us, waiting, perhaps for us to pick up the thread he left behind, to chase the echoes of his story into the infinite. What would we see if we followed him? What would we find if we dared to peek beyond the veil? The stars offer no answers, only questions, and in their quiet light, Enoch's legacy lives on, a call to wonder, a summons to seek, a whisper that the truth is out there, waiting for those bold enough to claim it. If this tale stirs your soul, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. We're digging into more mysteries like this every week, and we'd love to have you with us as we explore the unknown together. So here we are, you and I, standing beneath this ancient sky, centuries apart, yet bound by the same restless curiosity that drove Enoch to the edge of all things. His tale isn't just a dusty artifact. It's a spark, a challenge, a doorway cracked open to a cosmos that defies our smallness. Maybe he was a madman, lost to delusions of grandeur, his visions nothing more than fevered dreams spun from a fractured mind. Or maybe he was something greater, a man who brushed against the infinite and returned changed, a herald of truths we're only now beginning to glimpse with our telescopes and theories. The Watchers, the Nephilim, the Flood, they're pieces of a puzzle we've yet to solve, fragments of a story that stretches from the dawn of time to the brink of tomorrow. What does it mean for us, here and now, in our quiet lives beneath these timeless lights? Does it mean the heavens are alive, watching us as they watched him? Does it mean our world, too, is part of some grand design, a machine ticking toward a destiny we can't foresee? Or does it simply mean we're not alone, that somewhere out there, beyond the stars, beyond the veil, Enoch lingers, his eyes still fixed on the horizon, his voice still whispering truths we've yet to hear? The night offers no conclusions, only possibilities, and in its silence, we're left to ponder. His story isn't finished. It lives in us, in the questions we ask, in the dreams we pursue, in the moments we pause to look up and feel the weight of the infinite pressing down. Enoch saw beyond the stars, beyond the sky, beyond the limits of his flesh, and maybe, just maybe, we can too. The darkness beckons, the stars shimmer, and the truth waits. Will we listen? Will we follow? Or will we turn away, content to let the mystery rest? The choice is ours, but the night is patient. It's been waiting since Enoch's day, and it will wait a little longer still. If you're ready to keep exploring these ancient enigmas with us, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Let's journey into the unknown together.